So it's really pushed me to do something, something that is helping me make a difference in my life, in my family's life, and hopefully over time in everybody else's around. Being from a very middle class family, I am completely self-made. Ask yourself, where do you want to go? How do you want your life to pan out? Just concentrate on your universe inside, not outside. So don't pressurize yourself. Don't try to escape by saying, oh, my family would like it this way, or the society this way, or my boss would like it this way. Don't pressurize yourself. All the pressures which we feel are coming from the outside world are not. They are coming from your inside world. We are forest people. We can live in a forest for a long time unless, if we were Mowgli's, we would definitely, if we knew how to, get our own food, jump on trees, climb up trees and get our own food, we would definitely live in a forest.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Climapreneur Show. And today we have on our show Supriya Serene. Supriya is a co-founder of One Now. And I have to say that I had one of the most amazing conversations with her. She's a beautiful person inside out, a bundle of positivity she is. And the way their pure and unconditional love for their four-legged boy Leo led to the creation of Vanya. It's incredible. Vanya, it's incredible. It's beautiful. And you have to listen to the story. Welcome to the Climapreneur Show, Supriya. It's a pleasure to have you. So let's introduce our listeners to Vanya.
Hi Shweta, thank you so much again for having me and my partner Tilak, who could not be here today because of work, the other work that he actually does. So Vanya, it's a very difficult question, it needs a lot more time to tell you what Vanya actually is, but as much as I can, put it together. Vanya is simply put, a foraging ground for organic and wholesome goodness that makes one's heart, home and homeland better. Wow. We at Vanya, we believe in mindful sustainability while improving ourselves by focusing on our habits, nourishment and daily routine. At Vanya, you can find chemical-free, naturally and locally grown food while reducing plastic waste. Just like in the olden days, we were like we are your typical olden days kirana store where we encourage you to bring your own bartan, your own utensil, fill it up with clean, wholesome produce versus the very now convenient plastic packaged, non-nutritious produce. Simply put, organic, non-adulterated, low or zero waste living is what we believe in, what we encourage. We, including us, you and I, we have the opportunity to preserve and thrive along with the soil where we grow our food, right? So we share this soil with billions of microorganisms to aid and abet to make it fertile and nutritious to eat. So simply, we want to say, why kill them with chemicals and or plastic waste just to get the perfect looking carrot, but which is inside.
This sounds amazing. Okay, so how did you come up with the idea? What led you creating One Now?
Okay. So how did we come up with this idea?
Yeah.
After exploring many trails, our love for nature and animals and a growing passion for clean foods has led us here. But it's a long story. We always believed in clean eating, but healing our body and soul with chemical-free, naturally grown, organic food was not always was a priority for us. We were leading hectic professional lives. We've been working for more than 15 years now. We always knew, back of my head, I always knew the importance of clean eating, but never found the time to implement it. In fact, we had no time to eat. We would eat at our lunch at 4 in the evening. It would be ordered from outside. Convenience, convenience has taken over our lives, all of our lives, And so yeah, we were leading a very convenient but unhealthy life, which never occurred to us till our four-legged boy Leo was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, and he was being induced with steroids to keep his platelet count low. And steroids, as all of us know, is a terrible thing. It kind of it kills your insides.
Yes.
You feel that they are saving you, but they are they're curing something, but they're killing something else inside.
Yeah.
So that's when we turned to a holistic approach. I sat one night, many nights rather, wrote to millions of doctors all over the world while his allopathic was going on, to find out what is it. I read a lot about the autoimmune disease that he had, thrombocytopenia, and spoke to a lot of doctors, and then we zeroed down on one holistic doctor in Washington. So along with allopathic treatment, Leo was on a completely holistic diet after that. So which included organic food, which included organic vegetables, millets, eggs, everything that he was eating was organic. Along with that, he was put on a plethora of supplements like aloe vera, amla, wheatgrass, giloy, all of which is locally and easily available, but yet we ignore them and import products from other countries. In fact, when this journey started, our doctor, the holistic doctor, he prescribed a lot of supplements which are not even available here, unfortunately. And I kept saying, no, we don't have it, and we don't have the time, because Leo was not in a very good state. So that's when she did her research. She found out all these things which are available locally, and since then Leo has been on that. It's been 4 years. Leo is 4.5 years old. When he came to us after two houses, he came to ours was the third house. He fell sick immediately. So it's exactly been 4.5 years. Leo, has had autoimmune disease. But the good news is he's been off steroids or any medication for a really long time now. The supplements, though, he's still on the supplements, which are again just your normal aloe vera, amla, wheatgrass, which suddenly all of us during Corona have realized we need these things for to boost our immunity, right? And I really believe that this is what has helped him to be completely, healthy. Completely healthy. He eats normal. He eats normally, completely organic. Leo, even if one day, if we forget to get an organic egg for him, and we give him a normal egg, the next day Leo's stomach goes for a toss. Immediately, not even the next day. Like if we feed him an egg in the night, according to his diet, and then we take him for a walk. Immediately, if we give him a white egg, his stomach goes for a toss. He used to, Shweta, poop blood several times a day, pant vigorously, hardly eat, and felt terribly weak and quiet. Now he's leading a healthy, balanced, organic diet, and that has changed his life and ours. So this is what gave us the idea and the motivation to take this up professionally. I don't like to use the word profession because, to be honest, our aim is not to just, build a profession around it, but it's become a passion because we have ourselves seen the change that it has, brought in our child. And that was the biggest reason, and the idea came from there. And on a side note, this was also the only way to get our families to turn completely organic, because they are of the opinion organic is a sham, which I don't blame them for, because for a lot of people, organic is a business now. In pandemic also a lot of people have started this organic business, but I just feel that they are doing it not to help themselves, because I believe whatever you do, whichever business you are in, it should help you somehow. Either it should help you, your health, or it should help your soul, your body or your soul. It should not just be a business where you are selling something and you're earning money. And Tilak and I have been doing, and we are into advertising. We've been doing this for more than 15 years. So, and advertising, we all know what you see on TV is not what you actually, it's not really healthy. But we
Okay.
sell what is not very healthy.
It sounds like a pure, unconditional love. And like, your love for you, and you just like, you created something with love, and now you're spreading love and happiness. Like, I don't know, like, it's so beautiful. Yeah, it's like, it's amazing. And it's very rare to find people like you done something like this. Like, seriously, man, hats off. Hats off. Okay, so like, do you think that you're creating a legacy with Vanya?
Um, Legacy, I feel it's. I feel we are. It's more like leading by example.
Yes.
Uh, Legacy happens, great, but not really. That's not the intention. It's just to lead a life
Mhm.
where we can give people an example and give them a reason to, change their lives.
Okay. So like, how have your vast range of experiences, right from say a 21-year-old, or as you mentioned that you guys were into advertising, helped you like in your say your skills at Vanya, or helped you at Vanya now? Because we always say that in life, like whatever is happening is happening for a reason, all the experiences, and one day everything will make sense. Like, do you think that all your experiences have somehow helped you at Vanya now?
Um, it's definitely pushed me to do something more meaningful. Um, and of course, my job has helped me to organize this, put this all together. But on a bigger level, it has really pushed me. So many years of advertising, we were advertising or anything else, any other job. You just do the job, you earn the money, and then you go on a holiday, right? But how it's helped me is it's pushed me to do something more meaningful in life, something which will help me, help others, help my family. For me, everything starts at home. If I'm not eating organic, if my family is not eating organic, if my nephew is not eating organic, my child is not eating organic, then it doesn't make sense. So for me, my I mean, all these years, I started working at 18 and in advertising, and I used to always question this is myself. What is the point? What is
Yes.
my, which we all do, right? And yeah, so it's really pushed me to do something, something that is helping me make a difference in my life, in my family's life, and hopefully over time in everybody else's around.
I think it's a beautiful feeling because when you are doing something that you love, it just makes your soul feel enriched. Because in the current situation, we have people like like they're earning money and like they have all the privileges, but still somewhere we don't feel happy from inside. But just doing something that you love, I think it just gives you that kind of content.
Absolutely, in life. Everybody doesn't get the opportunity, or doesn't take the opportunity, or doesn't see it. I
Yes.
mean, I don't blame people for that. Sometimes you have to work on the circumstances, the conditions that you are in right now. So I don't blame anybody, but if you get an opportunity, if you see, and opening a store, organic store, and starting a store is a lot. It's a lot of investment monetarily, but we took that decision. We took that risk. We have taken that risk, and hopefully it will. It is enriching our lives definitely, and hopefully on a longer run it will help us otherwise as well.
And I think because like you always say, like start with a why, and your why is like so pure and so beautiful. I would say, definitely, it's just gonna go really far.
Thank you so much.
No, like really, like it has touched, kind of me, like listening to your story right now, and I don't know, like it's just something different.
Thank
Okay. So, what are your biggest learnings from your journey?
you. The journey is still on, and
Yes.
and it will always be till I leave this world. Uh, every day is a learning. Every day, everything I do, I learn something new. On a larger level, on a larger scale, I'll say my biggest learning has been that clean eating, my journey with One Year actually, and advertising, and my other profession has taught me to be honest, and to give, while and not to just give others, myself also, give myself the opportunity, the platform to be kind, be happy, live a wholesome life.
It's great actually. What gives you the strength to overcome the challenges? Like whenever you face any obstacle or any challenge comes in front of you, what gives you that power to overcome that particular obstacle or particular challenge?
Like I've said it already, like everything starts at home for me. So my family, Leo, Kafka, my husband, my family, my parents, everybody, my mother-in-law, they all give me the strength, When I see a smile on their face, and now, 1 year is not just me and my husband. 1 year is actually my family. My whole family is included. I've kind of figured a way to make them a part of this journey. So professionally also, I'm trying to get them all make a part of this journey of 1 year. So yes, if they are happy, that gives me the strength, that gives me the courage to do more, push my limits, and be happy every day, even if there's something that goes wrong, or anything that goes wrong. I remind myself that I will overcome it, because it makes me happy, very importantly, and it makes my family happy.
And at the end, it's all that matters.
Absolutely. That's what I've realized over so many years, of just working. This gives me much more time with my family, because now that we are working together, it gives me so much time with them. My father has been around, and my mother has been around all the time. They live in another city, but because of 1 year, we are spending much more time together. So it makes me so happy, and it gives me more courage and strength to move in this direction.
It sounds like 1 year is like one of the biggest blessings, because in your life it seems like it has had everyone that one place.
Absolutely. Is after so many years of being apart, even not just physically, even because my profession is completely different from what my family is doing. So this is kind of and we all want to make money, be someone. So we are doing that. I'm still doing that. I'm not saying that this is not a business, or this is not a profession. I'm still doing that, but I'm doing it with my family. So I am now physically, mentally, work-wise, I am with them. We are together in this.
That is amazing, yeah. Okay, so what was your feeling when you first stepped into 1 year? Like when you just first stepped into the store?
It's just been so wonderful, to be able to do this together with my husband, and it's just overwhelmingly beautiful, to be in the store, and to spend time with my colleagues in the store, my team members in the store, and plus to interact with diverse kind of people, diverse people coming in my store. I've had such lovely conversations. So every morning so I am the storekeeper, I am the store owner, I am everything, it's not, we have not divided it into, okay, this person is a cleaner, this person, it's not, we work as a family. For me and Tilak, it's so important to, and that's what I've imbibed all my life. My parents, my father, my mother. We have never differentiated between people. People working with us are people working with us, not for us. We never say that this person is working for us. So it's always been a very happy feeling. We do everything. It's we have lovely conversations. So every morning I open my store, which I do. I open my store myself every morning. Every lock I unlock it and open my store, and I enter it. I feel good. I feel so energized to do more. To spread the word about One Year, to spread One Year to many places. And ethos it
Yeah.
has. That's more important than to just sell one thing. I
Mm-hmm.
want to sell the whole idea. The idea is to sell the idea behind one, and not just
Mm-hmm.
one vegetable or because every vegetable in organic,
Mm-hmm.
everything that we are selling has a bigger idea behind it.
Mm-hmm.
It ties the whole, it
Yes.
ties us as human beings to the ecosystem,
Mm-hmm.
which is natural, but we have forgotten that somewhere along the way. So yeah, always a very happy feeling.
Okay. So like, I'm just curious, how did you come up with the name, like One Day?
um, it's actually quite simple, because we got rid of it. If in Sanskrit, Vanya is forest. One is a forest,
Oh.
and Vanya means from the forest, off the forest, not from the forest. You're off the forest, and so Vanya now means for us. Our tagline is "Off the Wild." So for us, it was actually quite simple because as a family, including a
Mm-hmm.
four-legged boy, and now the four-legged cat also that we have a child.
Oh, wow.
We are forest people. We can live in a forest
Mm-hmm.
for a long time unless if we were Mowgli's, we would definitely, if we knew how to, get our own food, jump on trees, climb up
Yeah.
trees, and get our own food, we would definitely live in a forest. But we
Mm-hmm.
can't, so we live in a concrete jungle right now. But whenever opportunity, we find an opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
run out, and we just go and live uh, the closest possible to a forest. So for us, it actually was very simple.
Mm-hmm.
There is no big story behind it.
Mm-hmm.
The idea is to get people to eat what is uh, naturally grown, in
Mm-hmm.
a forest, uh, not typically a farm. Later
Mm-hmm.
on, we'll talk about how the new age, which is actually an old way of growing things in a farm come forest, the idea of
Mm-hmm.
a farm come forest is gaining momentum. Later on, I'll elaborate on that if possible. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I mean that's where the idea came from. That you get your things from the wild, you are of the
Mm-hmm.
wild, so you must eat also of the
Wow, you guys seem like so adventurous.
wild.
So, what does climate action mean to you?
So that is one of uh, the biggest reasons why oneness started. Because Tilak
Mm-hmm.
and I, we are avid divers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of a recreational diver, but Tilak is, slowly professionally also wanting to
You're
get.
multi-talented, like every time is a new trait or say a new thing that comes up.
Thank you so much. I mean, I hope that's a good thing.
No,
I mean,
okay, okay, next.
I call myself the Jill of all trades.
Indeed, you are.
Mastering one at a time. So diving, diving taught us a lot. We
Hmm.
because of diving we traveled extensively, and I will give credit to Tilak because if Tilak wasn't there, I would have. He's more gutsy, He's the one who will explore more. So and I follow. I'm
Hmm.
very lucky to have him in my life as a friend, as a partner.
Hmm.
And I would not, do anything without him because he's so gutsy. He's always exploring new avenues, new things, and not for professional reasons, There was
Hmm.
a time when we actually wanted to just leave the city and live in one small town and,
Yeah.
pursue diving. But
Hmm.
because of family, we did not take that course. But
Hmm.
that diving has was one of the biggest reasons why climate action became very very important for us because we've been to remote places where
Hmm.
we went to remote places 10 years back and went there again after 10 years and we saw a change, a small town where they live a very regular life which we all used to live 20, 30, 40 years
Hmm.
back has changed. Commercialization has reached every nook and corner. It's unbelievable. It takes me to reach that one particular it takes me 3 days where you see now when you go there's plastic everywhere. There are
Yeah.
people who used to walk once upon a time, they are on bike,
Hmm.
for short distances as well. uh, progress is good. I'm not against plastic, and I'm not against progress. Progress is good. I know. Why should they not have electricity? Why should they not have motorcycles
Right.
when we in the city, city folks have all of it. As long as as long as we are closing the circle, it's not that we are using, for example, very small example, we are buying a packet of chips. Okay, you want to buy a packet of chips? Fine, go ahead. After you've eaten that packet of chips, what do you do with that plastic packet? As long as that plastic packet is going back into the system productively, it's getting recycled, it's okay. Of course, this is progress, right? We are finding convenient way of living a convenient life. Fine, but what then? Okay, we figured a convenient way, but then what? What are you doing with all the waste that you have generated? One must find a way to close the circle. The planet is hurting, and it is time for us to heal. Our habits make our habitat. Sustainable farming, living and consuming is the way forward. It's made possible it is made possible with very small, conscious and doable decisions. Starting our journey with organic and non-toxic foods, which is the easiest way, right? From non-toxic food, organic, as well as biodegradable or plastic-free products, okay, can help move us forward towards a healthier life and environment. So it's a hand and glove. You start with organic eating. Organic eating means you are supporting the soil, which is the ecosystem, that is where your food is being created. But if you do chemicals, if you do plastic, if you throw your plastic in the fields, where it's of no use at all, you can use that plastic, you can recycle that plastic. People are making roads, bags, so many products with plastic. Use it. If you're creating something, reuse it. There is no problem. As long as you reuse it, as long as you are not destroying what is important for you. You have to realize that the environment, the climate, environment, ground, the soil that we are talking about, which we are polluting, is for our own good. We have to be selfish. We take being selfish in a very negative way. No, we should be being selfish in a positive way. By being selfish, if I'm being selfish and I want to take care of my system and my child food, we will automatically want to eat organic food. We will all automatically not want to eat something which is in a plastic. And it's plastic. These chips that you get in a plastic bag by big companies, it's not good for our system. So I want to be selfish. And what am I going to do for being selfish? Is that I'm going to stop eating all this plastic food. I'm going to start eating organic food, which will help the soil to become richer and will help in turn, help me in turn to make my body, my soul richer, and my child's and my future generations. So, and at 1 year, we are extremely committed to finding the best ways to utilize our excess produce and packaging and maintaining a low to zero waste policy in all our processes. We believe in closing the circle. You generate waste, okay, fine. Okay, you want to buy that chips, like I said, fine. But now you find a way to put it back in the system productively. And
just being accountable.
Absolutely, you have to be accountable. You don't destroy your own land, your fellow creatures with it. You have to be selfish, but you have to know what being selfish in a positive way means.
Alright, you're 100% right. We need to be more accountable for the steps and actions we are taking. And I think at the end of the day, climate action is not something that's very complicated. Like, it's easy. I feel you just need the intent to be the solution bearer.
Absolutely, it's very, very easy. It's very so for me. How easy it was? Very easy. I wanted to change my profession, do something more productive. I started to grow. Automatically, I am healing myself, my body, my family, my children, and I'm healing the environment. So it's that easy. Once you decide to make a difference in a positive way, you will find a way.
Correct. And at the end, like I would say that there are millions of reasons to not do something, but there's just one reason that's enough to actually start doing something.
Absolutely.
Okay. So my next question would be, before starting Vanya, did you have any fears, and how do you feel about them now? Like, in a sense, when I started, I had some fears. Okay, this might happen, this might not work, this might work. So, like, how did you feel about your fears now?
Uh, I had to begin with, I had very typical fears. I mean, I still do, you know. Being from a very middle class family, I am completely self-made. Completely self-made. Whatever, let's speak monetarily, that is our biggest fear, right?
Yes.
That's the reason why we work the way we work. We don't know
Correct.
how to live. We just work like machines. So that was our biggest fear, when we started, because whatever money we have made is our own. We have worked really hard for it and put in that money in a business which we are not aware of, right? We know the good parts about it, but the business point of view, we are not very aware of, to be very honest. We still aren't. So we were, of course, fearful of that. How will people respond? Will we be able to sell? Will they understand our intention more than anything? Because for me also, as a consumer, I would just go to a store, buy something and come back home, not realizing how I've contributed to the environment or to that particular shop. So that was our fear, because we have lived our life, we have done what we fear right now. All of us are doing what we fear. In any profession, and somewhere or the other, you are the client, right? You are the client. You are a client to a shop. You are a client to any vendor, whether it's clothing or whether it's food or anything. So that is a fear. When we started, that is still a fear, but it's not. I'm not going to say it's completely gone, but yes, the good things with Vanya, which are happening, like we're spending time with family, doing good for the environment, my family system. That kind of helps me to overcome that fear.
And just makes you feel like, right, it's worth it. Everything you're doing is worth it.
Yes, absolutely. Every day, I tell myself it's going to be fine.
And like whenever I would say that something good or some happiness happens, it's like, okay, it's fine. All those sleepless nights, they're all worth it. All the kind of struggles I'm facing, it's all worth it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so my final two questions would be, one piece of advice you would give to your younger self.
I'll contradict myself. Of course, I'll say that one piece of advice that I'd like to give my younger self is I should have not run after the money. I should have not run after these regular businesses. I should have given it one thought that time. I should have, because I was capable and I am capable of much more, and so are all of us. So we should definitely not bow down to the societal pressures and what your parents' expectations are of you. My parents had pressure on me, of course. So I did what I had to, but I had built all the pressures on myself. So don't pressurize yourself. Don't try to escape by saying, oh, my family would like it this way, or the society would like it this way, or my boss would like it this way. Don't pressurize yourself. All the pressures which we feel are coming from the outside world are not. They are coming from your inside world. So tell your inside world, it's okay. You take your time, figure it out. It will come to you. At the same time, I'd say if I had not gone through all of that, I would have not been here. So no advice to my younger self.
And there comes $1 million advice. Okay, so the last one. One piece of advice you would give to the youth.
Same thing. Just go by your guts. Give yourself time. Listen to your inside self. Your world is all inside. Outside is something that everybody has their world going inside. Okay, don't ever compare yourself with someone else. Don't ever compare your journey with someone else. Everybody's got their own individual journey. Do not bother, do not worry about what's happening in that life, this life, or where you stand according to your surrounding. You have to always look inside. You have a huge, there's a universe inside you. Look there, look inside, look every day, every morning, talk to yourself. Every morning, talk to yourself, tell yourself, ask yourself, where do you want to go? How do you want your life to pan out? Just concentrate on your universe inside, not outside.
Wow. So I have to say, you're an amazing, amazing, amazing woman. I had one of the best conversations till now. You're really really, you're just what do you say? You have everything, you have inspiration. I don't know, it's just, it feels so positive. It feels so kind of feels so motivated after talking to you. Really, I mean, you had a beautiful, beautiful person you are.
Thank you so much. And I want to say, people like you are encouraging people like us. So stay true, stay like this, follow your path, and encourage us. Encourage us to do things.
You yourself are a bundle of, listening to you, it feels like, my God, really, it's I don't even have words for it, but it feels really amazing. It feels talking to you, nahi, theek hai. Whatever is happening in life, it will just pass on, it will just happen. It's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Every day has to be lived every day. You can't think of tomorrow every day.
Right. So thank you so much, Supriya, for being on the show. And yes, I really feel that everyone out there who's going to listen to this will feel so much inspired, and you're going to gain a lot of fan following, I guess, because you have got some amazing, amazing talents.
Thank you so much, Shweta. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. So my message today to our listeners will be, how do we define our success is more important than how others will define if we are successful. Everyone thinks about success differently. Everyone has a different vision for success, and the game changes that very moment when we work on elements that fill our vision of success rather than someone else's version of our success. So think about it and stay tuned for the next episode.